Okay, we're going to look at the B section of our tune, Step Back now. So again, no really repeated figures from the A part to help us out. So again, we're going to look at the shapes that the phrases make. We're going to put some silly words to it. Also going to show you a little trick you can do when you're listening of just following the shape of the melody with your finger. So for instance, going back to the A section, you would have da 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 da, and it just means that you've got the tune in your head and you can think about where the shape goes up and down. So we'll be doing a little bit of that as well. So the opening of our B section starts on an A. It's going to go down the scale to a D and then climb back up to a C sharp. It sounds like this. So it's kind of a relaxed down, and then as it climbs, it kind of, the tension builds in the tune, I think. So. I had words for that went, if you're going out to the supermarket. This works as a bit of a phrase. The next phrase kind of mirrors the shape of that. So you've got up to a C sharp, you're going to go up to a D and straight back down to the G. So, and then repeat the G and a skip up to the F sharp E. So we have the phrases kind of overlap slightly, so some of the chops and changes that I'm making might feel a little bit artificial, but I've got to divide them up somewhere to show you what to do. So we've had, if you're going down to the supermarket, well, I'm going to change octaves. Don't buy all the glue roll or all the tin tomatoes, or I don't know, just make up your own thing. That gives you half the B. So although it doesn't follow a pattern, it's mostly moving by step, or it has some of these little skips of a third, so from E to C sharp. Okay, so going on from there, this next bit, I'm just going to play it through a couple of times slowly for you to get it in your head, and then I'll tell you what I'm doing. So we've had got another skip to the C sharp and E, and then another D and B, and a C sharp A. So. I'll put that in context. That's what we have so far. So in that third phrase, it's all about these little skips. And then jumping from an A down to an E. And that's the biggest jump in the tune. It's mostly moving by step or moving by skip, moving by a third. I'm going to do that for you one more time and then play you the fourth phrase. So we have so far. So my silly words went, if you're going down to the supermarket, and change octaves, don't buy all the loo roll or all the tin tomatoes or all the bananas, don't buy all the eggs. There we go, a little glimpse into what's been happening to me recently. And then the final phrase, going down from an A to a D. a G. So although we're in the key of D, it doesn't finish on a D or on a note in the D chord, which means it's unresolved when you get to that point. It feels a little bit unfinished, but then you go back to the beginning. If you were maybe putting this in a set of tunes, it might be a tune that you start with rather than one that you finish with, so that you don't have that thing of finishing and it's all sounding a bit unsure and unsteady, and like you've forgotten to do the final chord. Alternatively, you might like that. I do like a tune that doesn't resolve. So the whole of the B section. Do it again, so you get the scale down and up. Scale down and back up. Skips. Neatly bent, don't know, scale down and back up. So you've got the idea of naming the figures to what they do. You can put some silly words to it. I would then also, going to kind of sing it. It's going to be a bit squeaky because it's quite high, so just forgive me. I would, if you think about your A as being somewhere about kind of chin height, then you can either listen or sing along and just trace the shape in the air with your hand. You might feel like a bit of a lemon doing it, but it's actually quite useful because it helps to get back the kind of the shape in your body. So you'd have da 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 ba da 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 dum ba da 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 dum ba da dum ba da dum ba da 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 dum. So it's just kind of a way of a different way of thinking about it. So they are my top tips for learning a tune like this that has very little repetition, that you're listening a lot. And I would listen closely, listen whilst you're doing something else like the washing up, so you're kind of half distracted. That's quite a good way of getting a tune in your head. You can sing along, make up silly words optional, but it's quite entertaining. Trace the shape in the air and then just try it lots and come back to the videos and try them. This is a tune that we're going to return to in class quite a bit, so I'm not going to do an arrangement video. I'm just going to talk about that a little bit next week. Okay, have fun!